Hey guys, I'm joined by another special guest on my channel. I'm joined by Jorian Baucom, who plays for Hibs. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So, first question I have is when did you get into football?
I started playing around 4 years old. I played football as well as other sports growing up, and that was just the main sport that I took joy in and stuck with.
The next one, who got you into football?
My parents, I grew up as I'm an only child, so sports was really important just to get, playing with other kids and interacting with people. And we're a sports family, so they just kind of threw me in there and was like, hey, let's see how this works.
Who was a role model that you looked up to as a kid?
Mine's a little more unconventional. I really admired Kobe Bryant was my all-time favorite athlete, still is, and he also enjoyed football as well and always supported women's football in any way he could. So that was kind of my role model as far as a mentality and mindset going into any type of sport environment.
Have you got any pre-match superstitions? If so, what?
I would have said I did when I was younger, and now growing up, I wouldn't really say I have one, but I like to put my gear on a certain way before I head out to the pitch on game day. But aside from that, I wouldn't say so anymore.
What's the best advice you've been given while playing football?
Wait, actually, let me backtrack. I don't know if this is a superstition, but I always have to have pasta the night before a game, like at all times. Does that count? I don't know,
Yeah,
but
that.
okay, cool. Let's go with that one.
What's the best advice you've been given while playing football?
I would say to believe in yourself and to have confidence. Sports can be tough both mentally and physically, and you're definitely going to face adversity throughout your time, whether you're playing in club or high school, collegiately, pro. So you're going to deal with a lot of things. And I think the most important thing is just to trust in yourself and know what you can do on the pitch and translate that anytime you can.
Advice to young girls wanting to start playing football?
I just say go for it. I think the women's game is growing and they're starting to have more role models that you can aspire to in the sport nowadays. And if that's something you're really into, I would just say, yeah, go for it.
So you touched on like other sports that you played when you were younger. What were they?
I played volleyball, basketball, and I also ran track for a short period of time.
So obviously you joined Hibs in the summer. What drew you to joining Hibs, and did you watch the SWPL before joining?
Um, Sorry. So the first part was
What drew you to Hibs?
What attracted you to join the club?
Oh, so sorry. Not that your ex I've had like sorry, I couldn't understand. I did know about the league prior coming here. I knew it was a really good one. We've had a lot of Americans as well come in and play in this league and thrive. And I ultimately just wanted a new challenge in life and thought that Hibs would be the perfect fit for me to develop my game and move further to where I wanted to be, as well as helping us, get our name out there and compete with the other top clubs in this league.
What are your main aims for the rest of the season?
Personally, just to keep developing and getting as best as I can as a player. And of course, winning games week out is always important as well. But I think the main thing for me is just personal growth and development and gaining my confidence back on the pitch.
How did it feel to score the 2 goals in the most recent Edinburgh derby?
It was an unreal feeling. I mean, that was my first time playing in the Derby at Easter Road, and to be able to get a brace against like a historically known rivalry was just, again, unreal. Don't really know how to describe it other than amazing.
With scoring 10 goals so far, which goal has been your favourite and why?
Oh. I would have to say either, I know you said one goal, but probably my hat trick, because that's just my first professional hat trick that I've had, or my first one against Hearts, and just being in that environment and atmosphere was really cool.
With third place only being 6 points away, do you think the team has the mentality to go and fight for third place?
Yeah, of course. I think we're starting to show other teams in the league that we're a top contender as well. And I think we're growing more and more as a team and starting to have things click together. And it's been translating on the pitch. And hopefully we can keep that going moving forward in the season.
How do you think the season is going for you individually and as a team?
Individually, I would say I'm doing pretty well. Again, it goes back to the coaches and the players having belief in me and building my confidence back up again, and knowing that I do possess skills to be a good player. And I think that's starting to translate in my game. And of course, bagging a few goals in the back of the net helps as well. And then again, as a team, I think you're starting to see how much we are really coming together. And I think it's been a good push for us, and we're going to continue to look to get 3 points each week.
What do you think of the growth of women's game, especially after the Euros and the World Cup?
Huge. Again, women's football is growing. More people are starting to invest. More people are starting to watch, and I think it's a really awesome thing to see. And again, you're starting to have more role models, people to aspire to, and just seeing how many people and sponsors and other athletes and sports investing in the women's game as a whole. It's been really special to see.
Sorry.
What more do you think can be done to grow the women's game?
Sorry, can you say that again?
What more do you think can be done to grow the women's game?
I think just publicly supporting it and investing in it. I mean, you're starting to see more games shown on television, on different social media platforms. And I think that comes down to the main thing. Like, you just have to have other people rally and believe and know that the women's game is enjoyable to watch. It's growing. We have great players that come out of it, players that compete in World Cups. And you're starting to see that some women's games are getting millions of streamers over men. And it's just really awesome to see how far the game has come from years ago.
Have you got any meaning behind your squad number?
Yeah, a little bit. I was number 5 in college, and I was number 5 as well, playing club soccer. And I know that's kind of an unconventional striker number. People always get confused when I have 5. But yeah, nothing much to it other than it was my favorite number and seemed to always play well wearing that number. I think maybe that's more so in my head, but it works for me.
If you could play any position well, what position would you pick?
I would say striker is probably my best position, or if I had to choose any other, I would say center back.
Did you ever think you would make it as a professional footballer?
In a sense, yes. I'm a type of person that goes for what I want. I've had that goal in my mind ever since I was a little girl and was willing to do whatever it took to get to that point. It's definitely a blessing, though, because not many are able to get to this point in life and for their career. And to be able to say that I'm playing and doing a job that I love is, again, something special.
If you weren't a footballer, what would you do as a job?
I've actually always wanted to be an orthopedic surgeon. I studied pre-med a bit for my first years of college, and unfortunately, my football schedule couldn't work with that. But I would definitely say something around that, or sideline reporting for whatever sport. I would say football or basketball because those are my 2 favorite, but something in that realm. sports communication.
And the last question I have is, what are your plans for after football?
That's a great question. Honestly, I have no idea. I know you definitely have to start thinking about a plan after your career, but for now, I'm kind of just enjoying the moment that I'm in right now. Haven't put too much thought into it, but again, I would think a good transition for me would be something like in the sports realm, whether that's behind the camera or on camera, something along the lines of that.
So that's all the questions I've got for you today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope everyone's enjoyed.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.